Hey everyone, AR Wolfe here from Midnight Sinfini, and I'm proud to present our debut single, In the Night I Come Alive.
Two members of a four-piece symphonic metal band out of San Francisco, Midnight Sinfini. Ladies, would you introduce yourselves and tell me what places you do in the band? And
my name's AR Wolfe, and I do lead guitar and growl vocals.
Growl vocals?
Yep.
Wow. Okay. We got to talk about that because I don't know what that is. And Sarah, how about yourself?
I'm Zara Stone, and I am the lead singer.
Lead singer. Now, who else is in the band that's not with us tonight?
Our drummer, Sean.
Uh-huh.
Sean Bean. He's like a veteran metal drummer from a bunch of like actually huge bands in the Bay Area, like Testament.
Oh, wow.
People from Exodus and Forbidden. So some pretty big metal bands. And then there's
Janne. He's the Finnish guy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. He's been also playing for quite a while and writing music and doing all this awesome stuff, but mostly in Europe. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So you guys, I mean, obviously you've got some real European ties in the band. Now, does that kind of influence the music?
A lot.
Yes.
Being so diverse, I mean, it definitely has a big impact on the music and what we put out.
What, so when we're talking about symphonic metal, I mean, I think of metal, I think of headbanging and that sort of thing. And neither one of you look to me like headbangers. That just shows how narrow my perspective is. You know, I'm sorry. But tell me about Midnight Sinfini, and tell me about the style of music that you make.
Well, in symphonic metal, I mean, that sums it up. It's pretty straightforward. There's symphonic aspects, like orchestral aspects with choirs, strings, usually throughout every song. And then we have like synthetic electronic sounds too. And then it's just the foundation is metal though. So it's like 4-piece metal band, and then this whole soundscape that's orchestral over it.
Wow. So who's the primary writer for the group?
Yana and Sarah.
Oh, okay. Are you the lyricist or?
Yeah, I write the lyrics and the vocal melodies. And Yana has written most of the songs for this EP and the upcoming album, but we're actually all songwriters. So we have started writing together as well, which we will show present in our future projects.
Okay, so let's talk about the EP, and you have an album that's coming out as well. So tell me about these.
I want to talk about Embrace the Shadows.
Come on, come on, you can do it.
Right. So we have a lot of material that we've been playing for a while, practicing and mastering. And we've been recording the EP for the last couple of months. And it's going to be out soon this spring once we finish everything. And then once that is out, we will release the album.
Very cool. And so you're telling me before the mics came up that basically Midnight Sinfini has been a project that's been around for about 2 years. And if I'm not mistaken, the first 6 months or so was kind of, you guys were like gelling the concept. Right.
Yeah, it took a while to find all the right members. And I mean, writing the music also took a while. So, I mean, Yana has been writing these songs for years and years and just like writing lots of songs and then keeping them to himself. And he did try to form multiple bands to play these songs, but it really took off when we met, and we were kind of writing together, like working on vocal melodies and lyrics, and we met Sean, the drummer, very early on, but it was hard finding the fourth member. And things really took off when we met AR.
You are the mythical fourth member.
Yes.
You're the one that brought it all together.
I was just happy that they had me in their group.
Okay, so symphonic metal. What are some of the influences that you guys draw on for your music?
Basically, like metal coming out of Scandinavia and Europe. Symphonic metal. The biggest bands come from Finland that are symphonic metal bands, like the ones who founded the genre and established it. So,
okay.
So Yana is like the authentic. He's like the real deal. There's kids over here doing it now, but like
they're
I feel
wannabes.
I feel like we have some credibility with him.
I'm sorry, guys. To anybody out there that is playing symphonic metal, I don't mean to imply that you really are wannabes. It was just, I'm probably going to edit that out.
But if you don't have a fin, you're a wannabe.
Basically.
No fin, you're fucked. Yeah, we'll pull that one out.
He adds that special flavor.
Special Finnish
you can
flavor.
tell without like hearing his name or whatever. You listen to the music, oh, Finland.
And it's really obnoxious because you can tell by, going on YouTube and looking up symphonic metal. Like, they're insanely talented people musically. And then here's Yanni, he's just like busting out full songs. Like, the demos are fully produced,
Wow.
full songs, everything's in it. There's like nothing for us to do really. When the demo's done, we just like, it's already good, let's
And you guys
not mess
just
with it.
implement it.
Yeah, and there's no lyrics, so she has to write the lyrics and vocal melodies, but the instrumentals are beautiful as is. So it's
they could be released.
it's like a genetic
us.
ability or something.
Yeah.
Wow. So it is a European form.
Mm-hmm.
How popular is it over in the United States, do you think? I mean, do you have any metric for that?
Probably a bit less than in Europe, but that will change soon.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I'd say commercially, like over there, symphonic metal, you can turn on the radio and hear it. And it's very commercial. Like, those are the biggest bands over there. There's no division where metal is seen as an underground genre like it is here. So, over here, there's no radio play for metal artists really. No TV exposure or anything like that. So over there, I would say they're way ahead
Right.
with that. But the fan base, there's definitely a huge fan base here in the United States.
So how are you folks marketing yourself? How are you folks without radio play, without TV? I guess, are you working through YouTube and
Social
Facebook and that sort of thing?
media is
Right.
the way to go.
Yeah.
And where can people, and how do people get your albums right now? Are you on all the services?
Yes.
So if I go to iTunes, I can find you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Okay. So how have you guys been producing your music? I mean, are you self-produced, or do you go into studios? Are you DIY? How does that break down?
We're basically self-produced, but there's this great place called J7 Studios over in Half Moon Bay, and Yanni has done a lot of work for them. It's kind of like a barter they have going. He does live streaming. He has his own company, like a was it like a startup live streaming company?
Oh,
so
cool.
he's always doing live streaming for bands at their concerts. And this J7 place, it's not just a studio; it's also a full, all-out venue. So he would live stream, and then they just opened it up to us, said you can rehearse here, you can use our full studio, and they have an awesome studio. So
That's
It's
fantastic.
the first place where we rehearsed, but unfortunately, I don't know how long they will.
How long that
stay.
relationship might last?
No, the county is kind of.
yeah.
Oh no.
They came down on them, and the catalyst was that fire in Oakland at the warehouse.
The ghost ship.
Yeah. So that's another place that's getting taken away. And it's sad because they were really one of the most professional places. They had a bunch of rules, and they were like pretty strict, and it seemed like they were operating well within
the
safety
law.
protocol and everything. And it was a good place for, teens and young people in Half Moon Bay to go, be safe, listen to music.
Nice.
And they're shutting it down. So
They were so passionate about supporting artists. Really, it's terrible.
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's
So
just
sad.
happening all over around the Bay Area.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously since the ghost ship disaster, but I mean, it with property values the way they are, venues just seem to be evaporating left and right.
Yeah.
That's sad. And I know what it's like out in Half Moon Bay. I think for the kids to lose anything like that, that's a big loss out there.
Mhm.
So what is your writing process like? I guess, like you said, Yana. Well, maybe we've already answered that. That may be taken out because Yana produces everything, and
That's
presents it to
basically, yeah, for this first group of songs.
Mhm.
I only came in the band like 5 months ago or so.
Uh-huh.
So like everything was already done.
Mhm.
I kind of just came to like learn the music. But our next project, our drummer Sean has tons of music too. And all of our demos are pretty much, they're pretty elaborate. Like mine and Yana's are like full demos usually with like all the music and everything.
Mhm.
So we're going to start bringing those in, like Sean's demos, my demos, Sarah's ideas, everyone's, and then kind of collaborate and hopefully make new music for our next album.
Yeah, AR has some really awesome ideas as well. It's like, it's so amazing. Like being in a band with other members, and all of them are so talented.
Right.
And so passionate, and it's really the best thing ever.
Well, so now let's look at your histories individually. I mean, for both of you, and AR, I'd like to start with you. When, how young were you when you started with music, and when did you realize that it was going to be obviously the focus of your life, considering what your profession is?
I realized before I'd like played an instrument or anything, I heard Metallica's Master of Puppets, and I'd never heard anything like that before. And I was like really sheltered growing up, so when I heard it, I was like, it just like blew my mind, and I thought, I want to play that, and I would envision myself like on stage playing that music. And so I eventually stole my sister's guitar.
Good for you.
And learned the music, and then started looking for bands, and I was probably like 15 at the time.
Anybody
14,
can steal
15.
your sister's dress, but to steal her guitar, I mean, that's, yeah. And so were you self-taught as a musician? Or?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
No lessons?
No lessons.
Oh.
They were always too expensive, like,
yeah,
honestly.
that just blows my mind. I mean, I'm like, I don't, and to hear somebody that's like, yeah, I picked it up and I watched on YouTube and I listened, I'm like, oh no. Sarah, how about yourself?
So I grew up in a household that both of my parents listened to classical music and metal.
Wow.
Yeah, my dad was in a heavy metal band before I was born, just as a hobby, but still, like when your dad like shows you bands such as Iron Maiden and Dio and Metallica and all this other good stuff, it does make a
makes
difference.
An impression.
Yeah.
And you've got it in your genes. I mean, you are the second generation of heavy metal here in this family.
Yep. But I was also really inspired by classical music. I remember my parents would play like Vivaldi's Four Seasons like every day. And I kept asking them, I really wanted to play the violin, so I kept asking them to get me one because I didn't have an older sister.
Nobody to steal any music instruments from.
Yeah, I was the oldest. So they finally gave in when I was 7, and then it started off, and I went to music school for 10 years. And I thought I would be a violinist, like professionally, for most of my life. But that changed when I came here.
Well, tell me, now, before the mics came up, we were talking, and you're from Poland originally.
Yes.
And how long have you been in the States?
2 years, a bit over 2 years now.
Wow. And I am blown away. I don't mean to sound like a chauvinist. I hope I don't, but I'm blown away by your English skills. I mean, you must have been studying English from very early in school.
Yeah, actually, I did. I was sent to bilingual schools, and I had American friends. So, and I was forced to like read books in English. But it turned out for the better.
Yeah.
I think it's really important to like learn English, like no matter where you're from. So
yeah, let's see what it's like in 50 years. Maybe in 50 years it'll be Chinese. Who knows? You know? I mean, I think the world's changing. It's a lovely English or Chinese?
Both.
Both.
I like both.
Yeah. So where do you guys see the band going in the next like 3 to 5 years?
Ew, that's a long time.
All right.
I think we're going to be...
Let's talk about 2017.
2017.
Yeah.
Well, we're already talking about like maybe touring internationally in the summer. So...
oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'm thinking like in 3 to 5 years, like, I don't know, like hopefully we will have done everything and just love doing it and keep doing it.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
Have you guys begun to map out your itinerary overseas?
Right now, we're just trying to get scheduling down.
Uh-huh.
Jan is so well connected over in Finland that he's said before that he can make one phone call and have like 20 gigs in Helsinki like by tomorrow.
Oh
and
my
then,
gosh.
Yeah, depending on where it is, either he or I might have like a lot of connections. So booking a tour would be pretty easy for us.
Pretty neat stuff. You guys got a lot on your plate coming up.
Hopefully, we want to do this, professionally full time. So if we're really trying to make that happen.
Mm-hmm. Well, what are some of your favorite venues that you guys play around?
Favorite venues? I like Slim's in particular in San Francisco because I actually saw like the symphonic metal band that inspired me to even start making symphonic metal music. And that band's called Nightwish. They're like one of the biggest symphonic metal bands in the world. So I saw them at Slim's and I thought like, oh, I have to be on that stage. I want to be like them. I actually got this weird thing where it's like I went from fan to like envious and like jealous and stuff, but I was still like a major fan. I just thought like I have to be on that stage, at some point in my life or I'll feel like a failure. Basically.
And how long ago was it that you saw that band at Slim's?
I don't remember. I think this was in maybe early 2008.
Okay, so about 8 or 9 years ago.
Yeah. And then in like the autumn of 2008, I was like headlining at Slim's and so with the band. And
wow.
So it was really special for me because I was standing like where they stood and it made me feel like a real musician.
You were on top of the world.
Yeah.
Damn. You got an idea in your head and you pulled it off.
Mm-hmm.
How many bands have you been in?
Oh, I don't remember.
That
honestly.
many?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. How about you, Sarah? What's been your band background? Is Midnight Sinfini your first band, or have you been in other bands before?
This is my first serious band where I finally found people that are like-minded and have the same goals as myself and kind of the same ideas. Well, obviously not the same. Everyone brings their own thing to the table, but yeah, basically
similarities.
Yes, yeah.
You could see commonality.
Yeah, I've tried being in many different bands, but usually it was not the kind of music that I was passionate about, or the other members weren't as serious about it, and just wanted to do it as a hobby.
Right.
So, like, this is the first major band I'm in.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to take a side note here.
I think there's like a spider on your mic. Sorry.
Oh, cool.
There's a spider on my mic?
Yeah, it's kind of
on her
nice.
mic. I just didn't want her like,
there he is.
taking a
Look
breath
at you,
for
little
air
bastard.
It looks
and
cute.
sucking a spider in or something.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Or breathing or something.
And then dying on your podcast. Lovely.
That might get me some listeners. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's okay.
Yeah.
He's going to be
He's
fine.
harmless.
He's helping me.
So AR, let's talk about some of the stuff that's coming up for you. What shows do you have in the pipeline?
Right now we have a show on April 7th at Mardi Gras in Redwood City. And that is with the band, I'm going to mess up their name, but it's Circle Dot. Do you remember their name?
I don't remember.
They're a rock band from Denver, Colorado, and they're going to be touring, and that's one of the stops.
Okay.
So we're going to be playing with them. They're old friends. So.
Neat.
Before that, we may do a show. Like, we don't have a schedule really, set up, and shame on us. We will we will have like an itinerary online for people to look at, like a calendar. But as of right now, like, we've been playing like pretty frequently. So there's one reason why we're not going all out and playing, twice a weekend, which we'd all really want to do. That's because our drummer, he actually has stage 4 cancer, and we just found out about this. He just got diagnosed maybe 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago.
Oh my God.
Very recently.
So he's currently going through treatment, and he's actually doing really well. Like, he was at our last show, he was sick beforehand,
right,
and then he puts on like a completely badass show. and he
Yeah.
like still comes to do the shows, and he's like great. I mean, he's
Damn.
really strong.
He's like a powerhouse.
Yeah, and he's already talking
one
about like
knows
the
how.
end of treatment and everything, that I guess this cycle of treatment will be over in late March.
Mm-hmm.
So by April, hopefully when they retest and everything, that he'll be clear of cancer, or that he'll be better.
Okay. We'll keep him in our thoughts. And I'm sorry, what's his name?
Sean Bean.
Sean Bean. Good luck. Good luck. I hope he does well.
If anyone can,
It's going to be Sean Bean.
that's true. But if anyone wants to, Sean Bean has a GoFundMe, and
Yes.
yeah, we're trying to, like, any money we make from shows or anything, like,
Yeah.
we're putting it towards that. So if anyone wants to donate, you can look up Sean Bean's GoFundMe online.
Okay, AR, do me a favor. Maybe this weekend, shoot me a link to that page, and I'll make sure that that's in the show notes. Ladies, I want to thank you so much for coming out to the garage. It's been very nice talking to you.
Thank you.
And I wish you guys the best. Maybe, when you have your album come out, maybe you guys might come back again. Maybe bring the whole band.
Definitely.
We'll see. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's been our pleasure.
Midnight Sinfini.